Mateo comes in and yells at Juan for being on Sarah's side, yet Sarah is the villain. Mateo blames everything on Sarah and tells Juan that Julieta doesn't deserve to be treated how he treats her. He tells him that he is the one who introduced Sarah to the family and he'll have to take care of her. Sarah comes in and obviously Mateo yells at her too. Sarah asks Juan what's going on and he tells her that Julieta is the jealous type, who tends to overreact at some point. Sarah assures him that she understands and she hopes that Julieta just tolerates her. Anyway, Jennifer gets a text from Brian and lies that she's going to meet Lucas. Alondra feels bad about it. Prospero has finished hammering Deborah and he somehow feels guilty. Cheaters. MPO, it's his first time and therefore Deborah has to calm him down. Bertha scolds Jennifer for doing nothing around the house. Alondra arrives, happy after her chat with adorable Lucas. Rosa walks in just as Jennifer receives a text from Brian to meet. She says that she's going out with Lucas, which makes Rosa very happy, but not Alondra. Prospero feels guilty, but Deborah tells him to relax. He looks so much better now, like a new man. If he changed his car, too. Prospero dislikes this idea. That car belonged to his father and grandfather before him. Alondra is in town, and notices Jennifer and Brian kissing. Then Lucas arrives to give her the sweater and they meet with Brian and Jennifer just in time for Rosa to arrive, also, and scold Jennifer for hanging out with Brian. Alondra covers for her sister, saying she was with Lucas, who has no clue what is going on. Jennifer and Lucas leave together, holding hands. Rosa is very happy. Sarah has come to see Julieta and Bertha offers her something to drink while she waits. Sarah tells Julieta that she has enough problems with the brothers, she doesn't need to have one with her, too, especially since she and Juan have nothing going on. Julieta thinks that Sarah is just looking for excuses, so Sarah makes it clear that she can fight back if she has to. She just chooses not to do it because they are both women and they should stick together. Julieta says she can fight, too, and Sarah has to understand that she and Juan will get married no matter what. Rosa tells Adela how much better Jennifer is than Brian. Adela thinks that Jennifer is a fine girl, but not the same can be said about her mother. And everyone knows that everything she wants to do is marry her daughters to the Del Montes no matter what. Her family might be poor, but they have morals and are decent people. Rosa leaves in a huff. Paloma asks her father to allow her to go see Simon. He's a good guy. He didn't even tell the police what happened. Modesto arrives to try to make peace. Paloma convinces her father to shake hands. Salvador allows Paloma to call Simon if she wants. After Paloma leaves, Modesto tells his brother to forget about the past, but Salvador could never forget or forgive how that man stole his wife, Irma. Paloma overhears. Sarah and Juan run into one another outside the canteen and go inside to get something to eat. He's come to talk to Salvador, because they used to be like family. He doesn't know what happened. Salvador can make an exception for Juan in his mom's memory. She was a good woman. Juan says Simon is a good man, too. Salvador promises what happened the other day won't happen again. Juan asks for some delicious enchiladas. He wants Sarah to taste them. Juan goes back to the table and Sarah tells him that her visit with Julieta didn't go that great. She still thinks she wants to break him up. Some men from the canteen try to make a pass at Sarah. One of them asks her to dance. She says no, so the guy tries to touch her and Juan goes crazy in front of everyone. punching him several times, almost breaking his hand. Sarah is frightened, but Modesto tells her Juan knows how to defend himself. Chavita throws out the guys and apologizes to Sarah. She wants to leave now, so she and Juan go. Outside, Brian and Jennifer are in the car and he asks about Lucas. She explains they are only best friends, and besides, her sister Alondra has the hots for him. She loves him and only him, and to prove it, she wants to get married. Brian looks scared. Sarah and Juan arrive at the ranch. She has been very quiet, but now she says thank you. He is obviously very respected in town. Juan says he couldn't allow someone to disrespect her. Their dad taught them about respect. Prospero's car is stuck by the roadside. Deborah says he should change it, but he won't hear of it. Jennifer and Brian drive by and stop to help. Deborah is hidden by the open hood, but she stands to ask what is going on. The way she talks makes it obvious that she and Prosby have something going on. Mateo goes to see Julieta. He tells her that he loves her, but Julieta says nothing could ever happen between them. She was vulnerable for a moment, but she loves Juan. He says he's going crazy. Can't stand to see her with his brother. He can't forget her. Julieta reminds him that she's getting married in 3 months. Mateo says she is only obsessed with Juan, not in love. She accuses him of being obsessed with her. Juan is in the study, watching the video his father left about Sarah. Pedro arrives to ask him to stop tormenting himself. Simon arrives, too, saying he agrees to work with Sarah, but he has to have the last word. Juan says that he misses Dad, but he misses their brotherly connection more. He reminds Simon that he's always been a reasonable person, he has to behave. Simon says that he's a human being and if he wants his advice, Juan should be careful with Sarah. That's when Pedro decides to share a piece of news. It is possible, but not certain, that he could have a son. They call Lucas and Mateo to share the news of Pedro's possible paternity. Pedro wouldn't want his son to be raised by a stranger. Juan says they were adopted, too. They know what it feels like to be abandoned, but Pedro reminds him they both know very well what it means to have a miserable life, too. Mateo and Simon sigh. Unlike them, Juan and Pedro at least know where they come from.